Get this 11 to 1 weekdays on the Triple M network. With myself, Tony Martin,
Bewildered,
Ed Cavalier,
hungry,
and of course Richard Marsland.
grubby.
We've got an interview with Crystal in the next break time.
We're still waiting for that one yesterday about the Nigerian gold guy. We sizzled up for 4 breaks. Never happened.
Yeah, okay, Richard. Why are we not doing that right now?
Well, I'm ready to go.
Oh, are you? Where's your copy of the script?
I didn't. I left the script at home.
There we go.
Left the script
Debnam
at
style.
National radio program.
Unbelievable.
Don't make me go to the emergency jokes.
Go on, crack
Don't-
one open.
Oh,
Come on, they killed yesterday.
what have we got in the emergency pile?
Come on, Tony.
Oh, no, this is a story. Well, this has been sitting around. Every other show has had their way with this story. Look at this yellow. Freezing toes have forced a Dutchman to abandon his bid to conquer Mount Everest while wearing shorts. That's a category. That's a record you can take. The man is, well, he's not given up. He's vowed to return to Everest in the evening gown section. That's next month, I think. The assault on the north face of Everest by mountaineers in the new summer range by Karl Lagerfeld was abandoned when it was revealed that Karl Lagerfeld is, in fact, a corpse operated by wires that are later removed by CGI. You have a look. I think you'll find that's true. Occasionally, here at Talkback Mountain, we like to play.
What you're looking for is a boot in the arse.
There we go.
But because this is radio, we like to do exactly the same thing. Give it a new name.
Brilliant.
Call it all new.
Great.
So what are we calling it today?
Let's give the Labor Party one right up the bracket.
There you
Thank
go.
you.
Who or what is that, Richard?
It's Michael Hodgman, who was a former Liberal minister. That was, to quote the 7:30 report last night, the most exciting moment of the Liberal Council over the past few days.
Man.
And he was just trying to get the crowd all going.
Didn't work, though.
What is a bracket, for starters? I've never. I mean, it sounds like something that maybe my father might say. Like maybe it's a block of the face or something.
He's talking about the tax bracket, presumably.
Oh, do you think so?
But why they need one right up the bracket,
Yeah,
I
I'm not
couldn't
sure.
say.
he did make a fist when he did it.
He made a fist when he threatened to give them.
One right up the bracket.
Catchy.
It's catchy. Can everything be a ringtone on the show, please?
Yeah, sure. Is he one of the corpse-like figures they drag out for these things?
Corpse-like
Rich.
He was cadaverous.
Yeah, I love those guys. Former politician, they wheel in a corpse in a suit. What?
Okay, so what we're going to do today, it's just anything, is it? Anything that you want to give.
One right up the bracket.
Okay, our listeners want to give KFC.
One right up the bracket.
Not because of anything they're doing, but because of what they're not doing. No, it's nothing to do with your ad campaign. So many people have emailed us in since that chat the other day we had with a listener about the Tower Burger.
Oh, I know.
The world's best ever burger. Sam Walker, one of our listeners, is saying, bring it back. Why did KFC get rid of the Tower Burger? Too big, too tall?
I think so.
Couldn't keep it up?
Yeah, I think so. And I think it was, I think the hash brown that they put in there.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Well, maybe that was creating havoc with the breakfast and lunch menu.
all
Does
right.
KFC even have a breakfast menu?
I don't know.
I mean,
but
hot and spicy is delicious for breakfast, as we know. But
Yeah.
well, until they bring it back, we're giving them.
One right up the bracket.
Who do you want to give one right up the bracket to? Ed Cavalier.
well, it was going to be our friends in Queensland who've been sending all the cash to Nigeria
yeah.
to hopefully be part of the royal
Well,
family.
everyone has been sending it, but it's just in Queensland where they've done this study. Discovered
that's right.
$4.5 million in 1 year went to the Nigerian royal family.
I've had a thought, Tone.
Yeah.
So I went to a dress-up party on the weekend.
I'll bet
My
you
former flatmate John threw a Mad Hatter's party.
Oh, in his dump master.
In his dump master. It's very roomy, plenty to eat.
It's a tough rental market out there.
You know, so everyone went along. There were some wonderful hats. There was one gentleman there that had a sort of an old World War One Flyers kind of leather
that's a
bonnet,
good look,
and he
isn't
had
it?
a mustache and some glasses. He looked a treat.
Fantastic.
John showed up in a sort of imagine the things that the Blackadder extras would be wearing, the kind of huge sort of hats, bonnety type things with things going everywhere. I wore a sort of wide brimmed school hat, with my copy of Short Bus attached to it,
Right.
just sort of giving it some sizzle.
I don't understand what this has got to do with the Nigerian royal family.
It doesn't. Let me get back to my point, Tone. The people who need one right up the bracket, if
Yes.
you will, are those who refuse to get involved with dress-up party themes.
Oh, so give them.
One right up the bracket.
Now,
Does that mean we've dropped the whole
yeah, we have to. It
Nigerian
doesn't fit here. It doesn't fit.
Doesn't fit him. I've been sizzling it up for half an
I know,
hour.
I've just
Doesn't
been
fit, Tony, doesn't
reading a
fit.
script for about 7 minutes.
Oh, sorry, Rich.
Dear, oh dear.
Doesn't fit.
Rich has learned his lines.
Next hour, Rich. Next hour.
I think we need to give Ed Cavalier
One. Right up the bracket.
Not the bracket.
next hour.
Not the bracket.
It's no good for our Adelaide listeners.
My-
Sorry, they'll have to cut that bit out.
My bracket
now
is
they'll have
my-
to cut this bit out.
Oh, no.
And this bit as well. I'll
about
keep
this
doing
bit?
this to the top of the hour.
My bracket is my own. And so anyway, so somebody, John's girlfriend, we'll call her,
Yep.
showed up in like a fashionable hat.
Ugh.
What is that? And I had a tracksuit party for my 21st.
Oh, wow.
I looked resplendent, Richard,
Yes.
in a maroon tracksuit. And all of the girls said, can I just wear like a sexy top with some leggings? No, you can't. If it's a dress-up party, you've got to get into the theme, Rich.
So how did it end up? Did you just storm out in your costume?
No, I made a kind of slightly nasty comment and then went and chatted to the man in the leather bonnet.
All right.
Well, I know that Cecilia had a theme party a few months ago for her 30th birthday, and it was a French theme. And I might have been that guy because all I could find was just a cheap knockoff Lacoste top.
Oh,
That was as French as I could go.
that's poor. No onions in your house? You couldn't string some onions together, wear them as a necklace?
You did tell me first thing this morning that you'd spent all weekend watching Marie Antoinette.
There we go. Should have just come in with
Okay,
that.
is this part of our move to get blokey enough for the Nissan Navara, our new sponsors?
I've got to say, though, after that film, Sophia Coppola,
One. Right up the bracket.
Is that an insult or is that an offer?
maybe it could actually go either way. couldn't it?
Okay, the enigmatic Richard Marsden. I'd say, okay, if we want to talk movies, I haven't seen it, but I want to give it
One. Right up the bracket.
that movie with Russell Crowe doing comedy.
A good year.
A good year, falling into a swimming pool, doing a bit of Cary Grant, sort of slapstick Hugh Grant, foppish work. Doesn't play.
No.
Doesn't play.
No.
I mean, he's good in the Sturm und Drang of your Insider
Oh, yes.
or your LA Confidential, but I don't want to see Russell Crowe in Notting Hill. It looks like you'd watch that film and it'd take you a good year to recover from it. So I'm giving that film
One. Right up the bracket.
Hi, Steve.
Yeah, g'day, boys. I tell you what, if anyone's ever been to a school concert,
Yep.
there's always that blue rinse set up the back.
Yep.
There's always someone, little kids, they always have to start clapping to the time of the song. I'd like to give all of them.
One. Right up the bracket.
Beautifully done, Steve.
I tell you, they always clap out of time, and when the music finishes, the worst ones are the ones that can't stop clapping. I'd also like to give them.
One. Right up the bracket.
Hey,
Steve
Steve, have
is
you
setting
thought
the standard.
maybe you could get a job as like a theatre critic for school concerts, a really scathing theatre critic?
I've been to that many over the years, and luckily my kids are out of it, and I've been to 14 years of that hell, and I'm never going back there no matter what the pay.
Really?
And if you do go back, what will you do?
I'm just going to sit there up and I'm going to mock all of those people that clap, and I'm just going to laugh at them. And I've already told my kids, if you ever start doing that, that's the end of it, guys. You're disowned.
Yeah. But I'm guessing you'd like to give them...
One. Right up the bracket.
Thank you, Steve.
We're easily abused.
We
here at
sure
Get This.
are.
Dizzy stuff. James, what have you got for us?
I'm really sick of the TV stations. You've got something really sad happening at a show, and then they play next week's promo with really happy music.
Ah, yes.
And you'd like to give that concept.
One. Right up the bracket.
Could you give us an example?
Yeah, last night I was watching a certain TV show on a
Which
certain
one?
station.
Which
Just
one?
say it, come on.
Brothers and sisters.
Yep.
I admit it. Put my hand up.
James.
And I know, it's really sad. But and then the woman was like letting go of her dead
Sally
husband,
Field, bro.
throwing the wedding ring away, and then next week on Brothers and Sisters.
Oh,
I'm like, oh.
that often does happen. It'll just be, we're going to have to unplug his machine. Do, do, do. Walking on sunshine. Don't forget next week. That is a good one. I never
Yeah.
thought of that.
Nice one, dude.
West Wing was the classic as well, because it always ended like, Afghanistan have the nuclear bomb.
Yeah.
And then it would go dun, 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 like into the closing credits. Like rather than the big sweeping orchestral
yeah, the
opening, they'd have the
happy
happy
news.
one at the end.
All right.
Thanks, James.
Thanks, James.
Well
We-
spotted.
Tackling the big issues here at Get This. Who's next?
Hi, Michelle. How are you?
I hate there's a skinny guy and he has a mouth freshener on telly on the commercial and then his nipples grow.
All right. And you'd like to what?
I'd like that to be completely taken off the air because you're minding your own business, and the next minute there's a skinny guy with growing nipples.
Okay.
Yeah, give those nipples.
One, right up the bracket.
I haven't seen this ad. What is the point of it?
Disgusting.
He has like a Mentos, and apparently it makes him so cold that he has these little gigantic nipples.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like
Thank
two
you.
antennae.
Thank you for miming that for me, our producer Nikki
Yes,
Hamilton.
you did.
Beautifully done. That's a lot of good visual work. All right, and so are there any others that get you going at the moment?
Well, as a matter of fact,
Yes.
there's another ad, and it's either like Swedish or German. It's hard to know because I turn away. And they're like making a car out of clay. There's a guy and a girl scientist or something.
Yes.
And they're making, there's a squelching noises.
Yeah.
It's an absolute... ugh.
Isn't that a famous sketch on Saturday Night Live?
And a
the,
scene from Ghost.
the Adobe, the little car that's made out of clay.
Oh, yeah, there it is too.
But this two guys, like, they're sort of like getting all excited.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
right.
innuendo, isn't it, Michelle?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Who wants to see, like, nerdy Swedish people getting excited over clay?
Well, I think we should put that open to the phones, Michelle, and find out. We might surprise ourselves. Thank you, Michelle.
Who else is angry about something?
G'day, Mark. How are you?
Well, I would like to give the parking inspector who gave me a ticket at 9:30 p.m. the other night in Brisbane.
One, right up the bracket.
Yeah, nah, every day of the week I'd like to give him.
One, right up the bracket.
Well paused, Mark. Very well paused.
Is it a revenue-raising exercise?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's give it another.
One, right up the bracket.
Oh, I've just been told by management we've used our quota for that
Oh,
phrase.
thank you, Mark.
All right, thank you, Mark. A lot of angry people out there.
So much
I
anger.
just say, look, if there's heaps of spaces,
Yes.
well, what are you doing wrong? I mean, you know, isn't
Oh,
the
I see.
idea behind parking fines, oh, you're taking up a space that,
Oh, I
that
see,
someone
see,
else
see.
could
Yeah,
be
yeah,
using,
yes,
move
yes.
out, it's someone else's turn. But if there's a whole lot of empty ones,
Park where you like.
that's just revenue raising, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
I think we've gone AM. What else are you angry about? Not on my
The
watch.
scallop industry.
Give us a call. The thugs in the scallop industry. Is that it for this segment?
That's it.
Our guest in the next hour is Greg Fleet. Oh, no, hang on.
What?
That's the wrong one. What I need is the...
Right, one, up the bracket.
It's Peter Grace. And what was the first phrase, the first words ever spoken on FM radio?
This is dizzy stuff, folks.
No, it wasn't that. Whatever it was spoken by this man, Peter Grace. Used to produce a little show called Martin Malloy, very good friends of ours.
And what a lot of fun that was.
Back in the 1990s, Grace.
Yes.
Those were the days. And, of course, you're certainly ahead of us because how many hits have you had for a clip on YouTube?
225,300 and something.
Must be some cat.
What is this clip? What have you made?
There are no cats involved. Sorry,
it's
Shan't be
why-
watching.
The numbers have been fudged.
Well, that's why Ed's not watching.
Yeah.
'cause it's-
Right.
he
What did
only
you
watches-
do? How did you do that?
I have put a video up on YouTube. I've got my own little channel. When you sign up to YouTube, you get your own channel.
Wow.
I've got 15 videos on it. But I picked a fight with some guy, basically on the comments column.
Oh, yeah.
And he was an American school teacher, lives in Japan. And I sort of, he was raving away, so I'm typing away, and I just went, "How far up yourself are you?"
Oh,
And
okay.
and then I went, "No, you're an English teacher, so how far are you up yourself?" I'm not sure which way it's supposed to go.
Either way.
And this guy had attacked your clip. Is that
No. He made a comment about something else, and I just went in on him.
Right.
And,
And now
then,
just-
and then he said, "I looked at your videos. You're good."
right?
And then a week later, or no, a month later, he became the guest editor on YouTube, and he chose one of mine.
So you're friends now, and so he put you on like the front page.
Front
So
page.
when you first go there, this
Yep.
is one of the featured clips.
Yeah.
And what was your clip?
It's a
Upskirting?
No, it's a rant. It's an anti-Howard Blair.
Oh, you're joking.
God, everybody rant.
Oh,
And,
God cops are paying.
Oh, yeah. I don't believe in man-made gods who don't believe in me, and you think that hasn't set the buckle of the Bible belt off in America?
See, that's the thing. Now, you're not going to get that onto Primetime Channel 9.
No.
But any... you think maybe if Carl Stefanovic were to express those
I'm
views?
Carl Stefanovic. The following religions are bogus. And he just reels off a list. Go to the ads.
But the thing is, you get the comments back, and I've got
yeah.
nearly 1,000 comments or something, but according to this... you suck, die, hippie, die, or some of the ones. Because, again, it's about 70% favouring what my point of view and about 30% against. But you've got
Not bad.
But you've got soldiers in Iraq arguing with people in America about what I said in Australia, which is kind of weird. I got called white trash and nigger.
Oh,
wow.
It's an interesting combo.
Take your pick.
Yeah.
Talking cadaver, words I
Oh,
heard
yeah,
before.
nice. Yeah.
You're creepy, you're a dumbass, you're a faggot.
Yeah.
Looks like Gollum, looks like Phil Spector with wet hair, looks like Iggy Pop.
Mate, I'd be happy with that.
I think this is all the same phrases that David Stratton used in his review of the film I made a few years ago.
Right?
I think word for word.
Wow, that was gay. This is so homosexual. These are my reviews. And you'll generally find that all of the really, really angry stuff comes from 17 to 19-year-old American male.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And, they're the really tough-talking times. Like,
Embedded, deeply embedded in their bedroom.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing with YouTube is to, one, what kind of medication are these people on? And two, the spelling channel.
Oh, they can't spell?
Oh, it's telephone text talk.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And misspelled. Yeah.
I think when somebody's questioning the existence of God, really grammar's not an issue. I don't think really it's not a priority.
No, absolutely not.
But, okay, the point here is that now anyone can be on the telly, in effect. Anyone can get onto YouTube, no matter how mad.
And there are characters who have built their own following.
But how do you do it? Okay, so let's say you know nothing about it. What do you need on your computer at home to actually pull this off?
Internet. And an email address.
And an email address?
That's all you do. That becomes your YouTube. Then you've got to come up with a name for yourself. There was one last night. I read one last night that said, "Dude, the names are all gone." That was his name.
It's quite good.
And myself, I typed in about 10 names before I get knocked back.
Well, you got George Lucas?
Well, I ended up in frustration typing in, "What do you reckon?"
That's
that's you. You're what do you reckon?
Yeah, and they said, "Yeah, you can have that one." Oh, good. I'm down in the W's.
It's harder than naming a racehorse.
Hello, Adrian. How are you?
G'day, how are we?
Good, thanks, mate. What should we see?
I've seen Tony Danza flip a go-kart.
In real life, or?
What do you type in for that?
I typed in Tony Danza, and that was the first thing that came up.
Right. What were you doing? Why did you do that?
I have no idea, but it was fantastic. He's in a race. It's like a minor celebrity race, I suppose you could say. I don't know who the other bloke is, but
McLean Stevenson.
He's racing Tony Danza, and on the last lap, he gives him a nudge, and Tony goes right over the barrier.
Gives him a nudge.
Some of his best work.
Flips about 2 times, and about 4 blokes have to come and sort of flip the cart back over to get him out.
Well, I'd like to think that they've dubbed canned laughs from Who's the Boss.
Definitely.
Under that sequence, very
Thanks,
nice.
Adrian.
We'll check that out.
G'day, Gary. How are you?
Yeah, very well, guys. How are we going?
Not
Great,
bad.
man. What have you seen?
Oh, drunk slingshot.
Drunk slingshot. Now, is this the big fat guy?
No, it's a guy passed out in a plastic chair by the side of a pool.
Yeah.
And a few of his friends get some elastic sort of bungee cords to slingshot him into the pool. But they actually send him over the pool and over the fence next door.
Gary.
It was hilarious. You actually hear the guy wake up mid-flight. Then you hear him hit a parked car on the other side and the car alarm go off. It is just brilliant.
Fantastic. Oh, it couldn't have been better if the car had exploded.
Gary.
Oh, well, that's it. The scary thing is I've got mates, I reckon, that would do something similar like that to
don't
me.
fall asleep, Gary.
No, you try not to.
Something to aim for. That's fantastic.
Thanks, Gary. That sounds brilliant. Hello, Sarah. How are you?
There's one of a stallion that gets a little bit too excited about his giant bale of hay. And he's mounting it and rolling in it and just a little bit too horny.
And did you watch the whole clip, Sarah?
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
How many hits has that had?
I didn't look, but I'm sure it's probably got quite a few because it's up on a couple of the horse forums.
Horse forums?
Yeah, for all the horse nerds.
I shudder to think what else.
Well, hello to all the horse nerds listening.
We've not dedicated a whole show to just the horse nerds.
No, maybe they just the equine nerds. Maybe they deserve it.
Yeah, I think we do.
All right, fair enough.
One of them.
I'm not admitting.
Oh, you are, Sarah. Come on.
Think
You're out
you
there
are.
spraying a bale of hay with pheromones as we speak. Thank you very much, Sarah. Nice talking to you. Hello, Sam. How are you?
You're going to love this. Stupid cat.
Stupid cats?
I've seen it.
Yeah, just about a minute and a half montage of just brilliant cats just doing stupid things, jumping into walls, freaking out at their own reflection. Random cat things. It's brilliant.
Now, Sam, has that got the one where the toddler is walking up the path and the cat
I don't
jumps?
think it's in that one, but I know that clip. That's like in every second week of Funniest Home Video.
It is.
It's great, though.
It's on very high rotation, that clip.
And that has got the one where the cat gets stuck on the ceiling fan too, hasn't it?
Yes. About the minute.
That's a
just when
lovely
you think
name.
it can't get any worse, and it gets flung into the wall.
Wow, so much to enjoy. Dogs are trying to find the source of their own reflection. I think that's a lot to type in, but if you can, it's well worth a look.
Finding the source. Thanks, Sam. Hi, Rob. How are you?
Gentlemen,
What have you seen, sir?
I have seen the World Perfect Circle Drawing Champion.
I've heard about this. It's freehand, isn't it?
It's bizarre. It's just like a guy in front of a classroom of kids, and he gives a bit of a preamble how he's missed the World Championships in Vegas this year, but he'll be back next year. And he limbers up, and away he goes, and draws a circle, and everyone goes, whoa, and applauds.
And he's not using a compass. He's not bracing via the elbow, anything like that.
Perfectly freehand.
Wow.
That's a man you want for your next marbles game, isn't it?
And what chance has that man of getting a proper job? I think I'll just draw it up here. That's a perfect 0. Who's going next?
Hi, Liam. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
What have you seen, bro?
This bloke calls himself the manualist, and he sits on a couch with a couple of speakers behind him and plays whole Bohemian Rhapsody with squishing his hands together, making fart noises.
Wow.
And he's felt the need to amplify that.
I bet he doesn't just do Bohemian Rhapsody, he does Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, you name it. He's the king.
Do you think this bloke could help ticket sales for the Dalai Lama?
The opening act.
Mate, there's a high possibility, a massive possibility. It's the way he keeps a perked cat's bum face through the whole thing that gets me going.
Gee, I wasn't sure about this spiritual enlightenment. Now that the hand fart bloke's on, I might give it a burl.
The manualist. Look it up.
Manualist.
Thanks, Liam.
That's what you've got to do. If you've got a skill like that, you've got to give it a fancy name, like Mr. Methane, who basically farts songs. Oh, no. That's not what he calls it. No. Controlled anal voicing. I'm a master of controlled anal voicing. Another tip for the llama there. Now, Gracie, you surely would recognise this voice. Here's one of the people who did that whisper. Lee Simon is with us now. Hello. Hey, Lee, we've just been talking with Gracie about YouTube. He's a featured artist up there at the moment, or at least recently. I think cats leaping backwards into a sink have knocked him off this perch. Any sign of old clips from Night Moves showing up there yet?
Every now and then I get an email from a mate with nothing but a link on the email. And I click it and I see YouTube and I go, here we go. And it's usually some of the incredibly embarrassing stuff that we did back then, whether it's a blooper with myself and James Freud and Sean Kelly where the Madge got dropped on air, or an interview with the late, the great Mr. Mark Hunter. That one's floating around at the moment. No, what intrigues me more is how somebody actually kept a copy of Nightmares and then did all the conversion that's necessary to dump it into a PC to get it up onto YouTube.
Because we're talking pre-VHS, aren't we?
We're talking almost pre-colour television.
Wow!
Well, there's an amazing site there. There's one guy that's put up all this old Australian rock music, but all old Australian television commercials as well. He must have about 50 television commercials from the 50s through to today.
Wow. And so you're not seeing enough ads? YouTube is the answer.
You want to see that football, meat pies and kangaroos and Holden cars out again?
You need Uncle Sam, all those favourites.
Hey, Lee, I've got to say, we've got an issue we want to discuss in this hour. That's the Dalai Lama. He's on tour at the moment, and I understand not selling enough tickets.
No one's going.
I think it's running at a $2 million loss. Ooh. Sluggish ticket sales.
Sluggish.
Right. Is it still supported by Killing Heidi?
I think so. That's the thing. He needs a hot support act.
He does need it, yeah. Stephanie McIntosh is available, I believe.
Oh, really? Because the Dalai Lama mimes as well, which is the weird thing. He's got a backing track. He mimes to it.
Yeah. I think, is there an upskirting video of him now on YouTube?
Uprobing.
Lee, over the years, what kind of extremes have bands gone to get your attention and get radio attention?
Me personally, my attention.
Oh, well, sure.
I don't think we can go into too much of that.
Come on, Lee.
But there are a few, just the stuff we can talk about that doesn't embarrass my family. There were some Saturn tour jackets that I think were very big, and I think Gracie would have a few. Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band was one that was worn, and the Springsteen one, I think that was black satin bomber jacket, as worn only by union officials these days. It was nice. Pyrotechnics were always good.
Yes. Yeah. Well, Triple M's Marty Sheargold used to do pyrotechnics for Van Halen back in the 80s.
Nothing got the adrenaline going any harder than a roadie with very few of his own teeth say, "Hey, Disc jockey boy, don't stand near the flash pot.
But did you get this thing in radio where someone from a record company would come in and say, this artist, Lee, I mean, this is like the future. I mean, Wigfield, I'm telling you, everyone is going to be talking Wigfield this time next year.
Would happen, but none of them really did it with too much conviction. It was kind of like, okay, I've now got to go to the people at 3XY and talk to them about that.
Mate, this is going to be huge.
Yeah, it's going to be huge. And they used to do pranks as well. They were really clever stunts. I remember there was Frank Zappa, Shake Your Booty album, and the rep, who was an extremely elegant, urbane woman from the record company, turned up wearing a harem outfit. She had a camel, literally a camel.
Literally a camel.
Parked out the front of the Age building, doing what camels do on the footpath, and had the security people at the Age all in a flap while they were wandering around with shovels and picking up
I
camels.
remember the Angels in the early days of this radio station. The Angels brought out an album, and I was on the air one day, and suddenly there's a fire engine pulls up out the front, and the firemen come up the ladder onto the balcony, and they stand outside the window on the balcony outside the studio window holding up the new Angels album.
Wow.
And I'm going, firemen?
You see what you've got to do, Dean Geyer? Get yourself a fire truck.
A camel
suit. And a camel.
I reckon the Dalai Lama, though, a bit of harness work, a bit of flying work on stage.
Yes, a bit of living on a prayer.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
A voice box.
Yes.
Yes.
Wah, 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 wah.
What about a T-shirt gun?
A T-shirt gun.
Like Kiss using concerts.
That's a good idea.
Throwing robes out across to the back row. Yeah.
No, but they're actually selling T-shirts to raise money, aren't they? There's,
that's true.
That's part of it.
But it's so sad that there's no one there to see the concert, because I guess the question is, if the Dalai Lama gives a concert and there's no one in the audience to hear it, is there still any sound?
Thank you, Richard. Downstairs in the sponsorship promotions advertising department, I've never seen such a giant whiteboard.
The energy captain had them whipped into a frenzy.
What is going on down there?
They're insight mining.
Insight mining. We've got to go along for some of that.
They're not allowed because they think we'll make fun of it, like we're doing right now.
Yeah, we're not very popular around here. No. Someone said something to me the other day, who works here at the station. I'm going, what are we going to do with all the podcasts that are in there? And he goes, oh, well, you want to migrate them over to there. I'm going, hang on, what are you saying? Because I'd suggested we move them.
Yeah.
He pulled me up on that. He said, no, migrate them.
Yeah, you could move them, but that would be simple.
I'm saying, hang on. You've actually replaced a shorter word with a longer word.
Yeah.
It takes longer to say that you're going to migrate something.
Yeah, but it's you don't know. You wouldn't understand it, Tone. It's technical.
Just say move it.
No.
Migrate.
Doesn't make any sense.
Migrating violations when you migrate me.
I like to migrate it. You know that song? I like to move it. Doesn't have the same ring.
Great song.
Yeah.
Migrated on up.
What?
Moving on up, sorry.
Is that how you... That's not how it goes.
Oh, I was thinking of...
Moving up, nothing can hold me down. That's how that goes.
I was going back to Curtis Mayfield.
Oh, I was in, people.
Theme from the Groove Tube.
Ah, right.
We're trying to resist doing Rex Hunt voices today.
Dead beats!
Because it seems to have caught on all over again. You might remember last year we had a lot of trouble with this.
The girl's happy.
And eventually it had to be banned because people were turning against it.
They were.
We sort of had,
we don't want that.
The whole station was de-rexed.
Yeah.
Stop people saying it round the corridor. But now, thanks to Santo Chilaro bringing in Rex Hunt's address to the nation, it's starting all over again. Hundreds, literally hundreds. You have floored me with hundreds of emails requesting we play more. I tell you what, this arrived in the mail today.
Yeah.
This is a recent Rex Hunt recording session.
Oh, wow.
I don't know what it is. Do we want to just play it?
Yeah, okay.
Here we go.
Okay, Rex, you comfortable?
Yep.
Now, you've read the text.
Magnificent.
You just want to go for one?
Yeah, look, mate, I've rejigged it a smidge.
What do you mean?
I just put it in the lingo.
Rex, this is a talking book. We have to follow the original
Yeah, mate,
menu.
let's just give it a crack.
Well...
Come on, mate, roll tape. Here we go. As Professor Robert Langdon stood in the famous museum, the Louvre, looking at the dead body of the museum's renowned curator, he knew instantly who was responsible. Knockers, deadbeats, lightweights and losers, who don't know the meaning of hard work and elbow grease, and who have never done a decent day's hard yakka or toil in their lives. It wasn't the first time the famous professor had been confronted with this yibbity-yibbiter about Opus Dei. Oh sure, he'd taken on the thugs in the scallop industry and won. Somebody had to. But this Opus Dei mob were fair dinkum mongrels and bludgers. much like my own critics, parasites, knockers, who when asked the first thing about fishing, let you down, every time, without fail or exception. Oh sure, Da Vinci had his critics too, but where are they now? Well, I'll tell you folks, sitting back on the couch, rolling a fat cigarette, bitching, and waiting for the next handout on the Gravy Train Express to Nowhere Town.
Rex, we might have to drop...
What?
Well, at the very least, the yibbity-yibbity.
Come on, mate, it's just a bit of colour.
And Dan Brown makes no references to the scallop industry.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Suddenly, a voice, a shadowy figure in that famous French museum, the Louvre. It hands the professor a business card. The address, the Netherlands. This is dizzy stuff, folks. Old Leonardo was bloody spot on when he said, and I quote, his own words, verbatim, nothing was ever achieved while sitting back rolling a fat cigarette.
Rex, look, I don't think this is working.
Yeah, just keep going. But Professor Langdon dared to dream that maybe, just maybe, or perhaps one day in the future, years from now, a kiddie might pass by that famous French museum, the Louvre, and remember the fat kid from Mordialloc High who took on the thugs from the scallop industry and the Priory of Sion. Oh yeah, this is Da Vinci stuff, folks.
All right. Finally. The Da Vinci Code as it was meant to be heard.
It's quite a good Rex tone.
It's just addictive once you start doing it.
Actually, this morning, I was in the bathroom, which is near our office, and you mustn't have known I was there. And you were just going, you were completely by yourself, no one around, just walking up the stairs going, blinders, dead beats.
I'm telling you.
You love it.
Try and resist.
You have floored me. Totally floored me.
I love that, the hang on totally.
Yeah, just in case you didn't get it.
It's addictive. This is something been sizzled up on the show for 2 or 3 days now.
Now, this is what I think the problem is, Rich. Whenever you and I decide we're going to do something like this, Tony makes it sound like it's the moon launch, the moon landing or whatever. Like, this is going to be the greatest piece of radio that's ever, he spends 14 hours a day putting Late Line together and then goes, oh, let's just play this silly little thing I've done. And then it totally kills.
Yeah.
Are you having a heart attack, Rich?
No, I'm fine. As I said, I just went for a jog.
Is this a plan to try and get out of this sketch, Rich?
Oh, okay.
He's got a note from his mum.
Because unless I've got a medical certificate...
I sizzle up everything. Everything needs a bit of radio sizzle. We're on a national sort of platform here.
Yeah.
We're not just turning on tatty rubbish.
But you have floored me.
Yes.
Totally floored me.
This has the potential to bring the show undone. Totally. It's great because this script has been sitting around for a couple of days. And
Yeah.
Exciting
it's been reworked
stuff.
by Brett Ratner.
That's on parchment.
Okay.
Brett Ratner?
Yeah.
Don't bring his name up. The director of the Rush Hour films.
Rush Hour. Oof.
That soiled the atmosphere.
Okay. So,
yes.
Richard and I have organised an exclusive interview, not with Tony Mockbell, not with Kylie Minogue. These are people no one wants to hear from. We've got an interview, Rich, with somebody who has sent over $50,000 to Nigeria to become part of the royal family.
Wow. Right. This is someone who's been getting these emails and fallen for the scam.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're very happy. So let's go and cross to that interview now.
Tony, time to welcome a man who's sitting here, the man who answered the call to be part of the Nigerian royal family.
Oh, yep.
Simply by sending $20,000 every single month for a year to a random email address. His name is Morgan Sorbet. Morgan, welcome to the show. How are you?
Good.
So have you sent money to Nigeria?
Plenty warm feeling inside me I have now. Thank you.
Yes, but have you got anything in return?
Yeah, nuggets of plenty I conceal. Drop me one Sunday at my place and let your eyes rejoice.
But you're wearing a barrel. Your family tells me you're completely broke.
Oh, no. Just hold my plums here for a minute. I am Prince Mr. Nigeria. You can touch me like that, tiny dancer. You straight?
So you're saying you don't regret it?
In the forest full of earrings I live. But these emails go to hundreds of people. I am simply messenger of joy for them.
Well, how can you actually be Nigerian royalty?
Big family is like a bus full of junkies. Scallop industry can feel togetherness of Nigeria royal family through me. I breathe, they live, me and Sauce.
Well, Your Highness, thank you for your time.
Happy to be in you, I am.
Wow! Ed, I had no idea you could speak fluent scam email.
Yeah, I can.
It's a great language. Disgusting couple behaviour. What's brought this on?
I was in the gym yesterday, and there was a dude, like being a personal trainer for this girl.
Yeah.
And he kind of put his hand on her bum, and I was like, oh, hang on, that's a bit fresh.
Yeah.
And then she kind of kissed him on the cheek, and I thought, well, I mean, it's good service and everything, but what's going on?
It's a top regime.
Yeah, but then I realised that they were a couple.
Oh, okay.
And so, if you can imagine, she's sort of lying on her back, and he's like helping her stretch her legs, sort of like back over towards her own head.
Yeah.
But then just kind of like, they're going like, and like giggling and kissing each other right in the middle of the gym.
Great stand-up comedian, the late Drake Sather used to have a great attitude to that. If you see that sort of stuff in public, you just go up, and apparently it's on. You can just be as obscene as you want. Come on, get it on, go for it. And then when they complain, well, you started this.
Yeah.
It's a good way to go.
And it was all under the guise of stretching and touching and laughing.
Right, disgusting couple behaviour. I think Cecilia was complaining that friends of hers have, too cutesy nicknames for each other.
Like Poss, she said they call each other.
Poss.
Short for possum.
The International Observer and yourself. Do you
No,
go and...
her full name the whole time. First name and last name. That's all.
We get into a bit of that. It's a variation on that at our place, which is Cockney insults that we've heard on TV. You blag, you scrag, you mole, you harridan.
So romantic.
I know, it's so romantic. Using oldie English insults. Hussy, trollop, floozy, strumpet. Strumpet's good. But to never bust that out in public, or certainly talk about it on a national radio program,
such as this,
Mr. Marsden.
Well, I know that in past relationships, because you never actually use each other's name, you know what I mean?
I do.
Yeah, I know, but I've never called a girlfriend by her actual name. It always develops into darling or sweetie or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
So when
Milady.
So when you really want to get their attention, that's when you use their actual name.
Right. Oh, okay.
Girls don't like that.
They hate that.
They hate the sound of their own name.
Not into that. Also, in terms of disgusting couple behaviour, I know a couple who, at the end of a wash cycle, if there's no underpants around, they'll wear each other's.
Oh.
That's true.
Now,
And
come on.
It's kind of off-putting.
Now,
yeah,
it's one thing to marry your cousin and put the photograph in the newspaper of a weekend, which most people seem to be doing.
You seem to think so.
It's another thing. These pink frilly numbers aren't mine, but geez, they're comfy.
Yeah.
In your front room. But the other one I hate is when couples buy something domestic and they think you care. Like I once went round to my friend's house and he was with his sort of live-in girlfriend, and they said, "Do you notice anything different about the house?" And I was like, "Well, no." Well, really, you're sitting on it. New couch. No.
Met the baby.
Yeah. No. Look, we got some new cushions for the couch. We went last Saturday to IKEA, and he wanted to get the brown ones, but I said no. We are having the mustard, and I think I was right.
That'll be you one day.
The gun.
That'll be you.
It will not be me. No days, Tony. No days.
No?
Yeah.
Okay, what about doing gratuitous Rex Hunt impressions around the house? Do you get into that with the missus?
I do it. No one else knows what I'm talking about.
You know.
Do you do it?
Here's some dinner for you. You have floored me. Totally floored me. Yeah, it's headed for the divorce courts, I think. Hey, listen to this. Here's some, we've been responsible for some annoying couple behaviour. Jules, a.k.a. Dingo Lady, says, you guys should be shot on sight for treating... I know, it's a tad extreme.
Wow.
For teaching my husband the words, how come, as in Police 10-7, that's now his answer to everything. It's so annoying. Now, what she's referring to is a clip we played of a drunken gent on the New Zealand cops show Police 10-7, where he's going this cop, but in true polite New Zealand criminal way, totally pulls a U-turn at the end. Listen to this.
I'm gonna tell you, man.
You have the right to refrain from making a statement. You have the right to consult and instruct a lawyer.
I know the woman who owned the house.
Okay, do you understand what I've just told
What
you?
do you mean statement?
Look that way, bro. I don't want you spitting on me, eh?
You just racist, man.
Okay.
You racist.
If you like.
You racist.
Okie doke.
You racist, man.
Okay.
You, man.
I've told you you're under arrest for disorderly behaviour.
No, you never told me.
Oh, well, I just did.
How come?
That is great. How come? So that is driving.
Get out of that hedge and I'll tell you.
Jules is fed up with that.
Oh, bad luck.
All our fault, apparently. Disgusting couple behaviour.
Hi, Matt.
Oh, well, as terms of endearment, last year we watched the whole series of Deadwood.
Oh, wasn't it good?
Yeah, all of them. And so, yeah, in terms of endearment, we'd walk around being elswearingen to each other.
Now, okay, gone early with the vomiting there, Richard. Are there any Deadwood terms of endearment that you could say on a radio program where children might be listening?
Not really.
What about Hooplehead? That's not too bad, is it? You goddamn dirt worshipper. Okay, that's not bad.
Thanks, Matty. That's all right.
Dovetail.
Oh, yeah?
This weekend we'll probably go by the newest series of Scrubs and spend the whole long weekend watching that.
I want to give you the spew noise, but that sounds pretty fun, Matt, so I think you're off the hook. Best of luck. She's a keeper, dude.
A DVD series lock-in. That's as romantic as it gets. I'll get this.
Good on you, man. Giving me hope. All right. Thanks, Maddie. Hello, Madeline. How are you?
I'm good.
What's going on? What have you got?
Every time I go to my friend's house, she has this calendar and it has sexual positions for each day of the year.
Yeah.
And every time I go over there, she tells me which one she's up to.
Oh, really?
The girl's happy.
Thank you, Rex. So they're following the calendar.
Yeah.
And are they up to the Turkish grip at all, Madeline?
No, I try not to take notice. It's
Fair enough.
disgusting.
I think, what is it today? 7th of June. That's reverse cowgirl.
It is.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
lovely.
that's true.
I don't know what it is.
That's our anniversary.
But Richard Marsden is drawing a diagram as we speak.
Get this, it's blown out to 2 hours, 11 to 1 weekdays on the Triple M network.